Imagine you were the richest person alive. Not today, but in any decade. Money wasn't a limit. The only question was, what was the craziest car you could actually buy? Not a concept car, not a prototype, a real production car. One with a price tag, a key, and enough engineering to make every other car on the road feel outdated. From the 1950s to today, that answer changed completely. Every decade produced one machine that pushed technology further than anyone thought possible. And together, they tell the story of how the limits of the automobile kept moving. These are the craziest cars money could buy. In every decade, in the 1950s, the fastest cars in the world were barely road cars at all. They were race cars, with license plates. Then Mercedes-Benz built something completely different. The 300 SL Gullwing, the first production car in the world with direct fuel injection. A technology adapted from German aircraft engines, it produced 215 horsepower, reached around 160 miles per hour, and became the fastest production car on Earth. Its famous gullwing doors weren't designed to impress people. They were a solution to a problem. The lightweight tubular chassis was too tall for conventional doors, so the doors had to open upward. An engineering compromise that accidentally created one of the most recognizable cars ever built. It could win a race on Sunday and drive to the opera on Monday. Long before anyone used the word supercar, the 300 SL had already invented the idea. In the 1960s, everything changed. For years, the fastest road cars followed the same formula. A powerful engine in the front, driving the rear wheels. Then Lamborghini broke every rule. The Miura placed its V12 behind the driver, mounted in the middle of the car, producing around 345 horsepower, and pushing the car beyond 170 miles per hour. No production car had ever combined those ideas before. It wasn't just faster, it was completely different. Designed by Marcello Gandini, the Miura was impossibly low, stunningly beautiful, and famously difficult to drive at the limit. But that's exactly why it changed history. The mid-engine layout it pioneered became the blueprint for almost every supercar that followed. The Miura didn't improve the supercar, it completely reinvented what a supercar could be. In the 1970s, the supercar should have disappeared. The oil crisis, new emissions laws, stricter safety regulations, everything was pushing high-performance cars toward extinction. Porsche responded by doing the exact opposite. The 930 Turbo, better known as the Porsche 911 Turbo. It took turbocharging technology developed for the racetrack and put it into a road car. The result was unlike anything drivers had experienced before. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the turbo came alive, delivering a violent surge of power, usually right in the middle of a corner. That brutal power delivery earned it one of the most famous nicknames in automotive history, the Widowmaker. It was incredibly fast, completely unforgiving, and demanded absolute respect from anyone behind the wheel. In a decade that tried to tame performance cars, Porsche built one that fought back. In the 1980s, Enzo Ferrari knew he was running out of time. He wanted one final masterpiece, and he gave his engineers a simple mission: build the fastest Ferrari possible. The result was the Ferrari F40, created to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, and the last car personally approved by Enzo Ferrari before his death. Power came from a twin-turbocharged V8. The body was built largely from carbon fiber and Kevlar, materials that were almost unheard of in production cars at the time. Everything that didn't make the car faster was removed. No carpets, no proper door handles, just a pull cable, no traction control, no ABS, no electronic safety systems, nothing between the driver and the machine. It became the first production car to exceed 200 miles per hour. The F40 wasn't built to be comfortable. It wasn't built to be forgiving. It was built to be the purest expression of speed Ferrari had ever created. In the 1990s, one engineer decided to ignore every compromise. His name was Gordon Murray. The car was the McLaren F1. Instead of placing the driver on the left or the right, he put the driver in the center, with two passenger seats behind. Power came from a naturally aspirated BMW V12, so powerful that the engine bay was lined with gold, not for luxury, but because gold reflects heat better than almost any other material. Every part of the car was designed to save weight, Nothing was added unless it made the car better. In 1998, the McLaren F1 reached 240 miles per hour, becoming the fastest production car in the world, a record it held for years. But Gordon Murray never set out to build the fastest car. He wanted to build the greatest driver's car ever made. The speed was simply the result of doing everything else right. In the 2000s, the McLaren F1 had held the speed record for years. Many people believed it would never be beaten. Then Volkswagen decided to prove everyone wrong, no matter the cost. The result was the Bugatti Veyron, the first production car to produce 1,000 horsepower, powered by an 8.0-liter W16 engine, fed by 4 turbochargers. The engineering was almost unbelievable. Keeping that engine alive required 10 separate radiators. At top speed, it could empty its fuel tank in around 12 minutes. Its specially developed tires cost tens of thousands of dollars to replace. And in 2005, the Veyron reached 253 miles per hour, becoming the fastest production car in the world. Volkswagen reportedly lost money on every single one it built. But profit was never the goal. The Veyron wasn't built to make money. It was built to prove what was possible. When engineering mattered more than economics. And for one extraordinary moment, it became the most ambitious production car the world had ever seen. By the 2010s, the race for more speed took a completely different direction. Instead of adding bigger engines, manufacturers began adding electricity. Technology that had been developed in Formula One was finally making its way into road cars. Ferrari's answer was the LaFerrari, and it marked the beginning of the hybrid hypercar era. Behind the driver sat a naturally aspirated 6.3-liter V12, working alongside an electric motor inspired by Ferrari's Formula One energy recovery system. Together, they produced 950 horsepower. The electric motor wasn't there to save fuel. It was there to eliminate every gap in the V12's power delivery. The instant you pressed the accelerator, the power was already there, alongside the McLaren P1 and the Porsche 918. The LaFerrari proved something the automotive world hadn't expected. Hybrid technology wasn't the end of the supercar. It was the next evolution. The decade that many believed would slow performance cars down, instead created the most advanced Ferraris ever built. By the 2020s, the race wasn't just about building a faster car anymore. It was about chasing a number many engineers once believed was impossible: 300 miles per hour. One small company from Sweden decided to make that its only mission. The Koenigsegg Jesko Absolut. Everything about the car was designed for one purpose: reduce drag, increase stability, go faster than anything that came before. Its twin-turbocharged V8 produces more than 1,600 horsepower on E85 fuel. Koenigsegg believes the Jesko Absolut is capable of exceeding 300 miles per hour, a speed no production car has officially reached. Whether that record is achieved or not almost doesn't matter, because the Jesko Absolut represents the absolute edge of what a road car can become. From the Mercedes 300 SL in the 1950s to the Jesko Absolut today, the numbers have changed, the technology has changed, the speed has almost doubled. But one thing never changed. Every decade, someone looked at the fastest car in the world and decided it still wasn't fast enough.